Okay, I have gone to my Cricut and I've cut out a pair of welded Mickey heads because I obviously can't just do this without it. So I've got my two pieces welded and folded over. This is obviously going to be a booklet. This piece will go right on here. And you'd think these would be, you know, like switch one for one side for the other, but it just doesn't work that way. These definitely have a side. Glue this down. Okay, now cut a full-size head, which I'm going to cut off and use as a pair of trousers. I'm going to do my best to do them straight based on this cut. Just put the top of the ears at a straight edge. My metal ruler here. Hope I've sighted this well. Okay, that looks okay. I cut myself a couple of little yellow ovals. For the buttons. Now I sized this, so if you wanted to punch a 2-inch photo, you could do that and put it in there. and they would mat with the white still showing if you did a 2-inch circle. If you did a 2 1/4 inch circle, it's the full size of that white circle that I cut out. Otherwise, this is just a lovely journaling booklet. So I want to mount it with a magnet so it'll pop off. So there. Now, since I already have paper on that, here, which is where I want to place this, I can't do the matching magnet thing. And I'll show you how we do it, how I do it the other way. Which is quite clever if I say so myself, but I don't know that I thought of it. But it certainly works. Okay, so there's our little booklet, and here's our page, and I want this guy to be, I think, about here. Isn't that look cool? Okay, so now here's my other magnet. I'm going to hold this guy in place and let this just fly where it wants to go. So now it's stuck on the back. Put a little circle. Okay, so I probably want a couple of little magnets in there. We can do this. My little magnets. You get to see how changes are made in my world here. Now I could just peel these off and cut new cut new white pieces, but I don't think I need to. Here, just, you need to cooperate with me, little thing. No, I'm not gonna do it. Alright. It's gonna shove you right up in there. And this magnet is a little chunkier than my other ones. And I'm not for sure why that is. Okay, now here I've got to pay attention to what I'm doing. Make sure I get that magnet with this side down. It's a lot easier if you do it, if you place the magnet before you put the paper on top. That's for sure. Go, our little Mickey heads. Made it a little chunky, but you know what? Now it's got some more dimension to it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so next page. It's going to start out 11 inches wide, but we need it 6 1/4 inches tall. At 3/8, 1/2. Okay. Then I'm going to go in 3 1/2 inches. 1, 2, 3. No, that doesn't. Let's see. It's my page. going to do, we're going to bring it into 6 3/4. And 6 7/8. It's going to make the mat for this an 1/8 inch. What is it going to make it? 1/4 inch, so it would make it like 2 7/8, but we'll measure it before we go, okay? So, now with this one, you won't see the paper underneath until you open up the page. It's really heavier craft paper than that. Alright, so yep. Yep. And now I'm doing backwards what I've always told you. I'm folding not over the hump, and this paper doesn't want me to do that, so I'm going to have to rescore this so I can fold it back the other way. I want the hump on the other side. Come on. So this will glue down here. Oh, we got magnets to add, but let's get this glued down first. Right to the very edge. let's put a pocket right up front here. So we need to do it, it's 4 inches, so we need to cut it at 5. I'll pick up one of my scraps. Cut 5 inches wide. And I want a 2.5 inch tall pocket, so I cut it at 3 inches tall. And I score on the 2 short sides and along one long side. That'll fit on there perfectly. So I need a piece. Okay. 4 1/4 tall. Okay, now I've chosen the papers for the next page. They look nice together. This is a full sheet. I want to find some sort of smoky blue. Stormy sky would do, and so would weathered wood. I think weathered wood is more gray. Sky is going to be it, I believe. This piece, but not before I mount my magnets. We just went through this. Yeah, thought I'd have thunk of it. Now you could certainly put a spinner here, and if you're going to put a spinner, you have to mount the paper, punch your hole and place the spinner. And do the same on this side, and then you mount your papers on the back. Okay, so it's a different process. I don't like spinners. I think they're disasters waiting to happen, in so much as pulling through the paper eventually. And if you're making something for children, you know, you go to Disney and you want, you know, your kid's going to want to see the album. So it's going to get used a lot. And that's my thought on spinners. Well, they're clever, and they were used a lot, and they still are used a lot. Some designers still use them. I can't go there. But you do what you want. It's your album. Now, I want one here. Keep this from flip-flopping around. I get these magnets on eBay. I get 50 sets for about $10. Which is really, really reasonable. It's a US shipper. And you look for 1/16 inch depth. Now, because they are so thin, when you go to place them, you need to be careful, unless you want to deliberately shatter them. But if you drop them from too far away, they will break. And it's a great way to get smaller pieces, but they usually have jagged edges and things, so I don't recommend it. Okay, so we got this way and this way. Now, how simple is that? And people think we're just so clever. Well, I suppose we are. But once you know, it comes pretty easy, unless you're like me and you just get rolling along and you forget what you need to be doing before you're doing what you want to be doing. Now I usually measure and write down my mat width, but you wouldn't know it, but I've been gone for hours. So 3 3/4 wide. And the 4 1/4 tall is because we're putting a pocket here, and if I want to conserve paper, I don't want to I want to use more than I have to. I have plenty of paper, so I'm not going to. I bought way more of these 6x6 pads than I needed. Okay, so this piece, oh really? Use that ruler more often. Okay, so we need to cut it 3 3/4 wide. Now this, you know, I could certainly do this. I could do this and find one of the cut apart sheets and see if there's something that would be cute for an embellishment. This castle's got polka dots on it, and that's really a lot of stripes. Could do the believe, but we've got believe over here. And I could certainly do this, but it's the same as that. And I don't know, I like this. I like that a lot. And this could be turned into a tag to match this. Look at us go. Okay, so the first thing is to cut this down to 3 3/4 inches wide. I'm not a stamper. I do use stamps, but for what I do with my crafting, I find that the Ranger line of inks are perfect. I love the distress inks for making my scrapbooks. I use the archival inks for stamping, lettering, and things. It comes out nice and crisp. I do have some Stampin' Up! Stuff that I got, you know, really inexpensively by buying somebody else's stock. So I have a nice variety of colors. But, you know, if you're not a stamper, and if all you do is what I'm doing right now, these mini ones are probably, you know, for space savers. For value, you want the big ones. But for space saving, the little guys are okay. And you just use the round stamp applicators with them, and they're perfect. All right, so we've got that. Now I need to cut out the M for magic. And I'm going to take off the red. Because I have some red cardstock here that is pretty close to this color, and I'm going to mount it on that. Pretty close. And God bless them, these guys do not use the same colors for anything. Okay, that'll be pretty. So if I cut, so I need to cut 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. Use your 1 7/8 inches square. Oh, that's pity. I'm going to make this so you could tuck something under it. This I'm going to adhere down all the way. This. We'll go right here, but I'm going to put that on after I get the pocket down. Okay. Glue on pockets. Just don't fight me on this one. Use glue on pockets. If you don't, you end up with sticky tape, and the adhesive never really dries like glue does. Okay, so that you use the tapes, they don't really dry hard like glue does. So you have the chance of putting something inside your pocket and it getting stuck. And if it's something that's a treasure, you will be unhappy when it comes out and you've torn it because it's stuck to the tape. Okay, so these sides, which translates to these edges here. I'm going to take this piece and turn it into a tag. Okay? It's going to be a little tall, so I'm going to trim off the excess at this end. I need to take off a ½ inch. I really want my screen to quit going to sleep so fast, so put you back up there. Okay. Okay. Now I need a piece of my craft. I've got plenty of scraps here from when I built my pages. One, two, three, four, 5 scissors. Oh yeah, things get messy when I'm just crafting along. 3 1/4. All right, I do not want these corners square. So I'm gonna make it look like a tag. I'm gonna around these. And then I'm gonna use this corner chopper. And this is the angle and photo one. The photo one's weird. Let me show you the photo one. It cuts out a shape like it was being mounted by a photo. So it's a reverse cut. So when you put it down, it looks like there's a tag behind it, but there's not really. So I don't get that. But I love the angle cut. Okay, so we're gonna use the black all the way around on this one. Got to chattering away and didn't do the cuts over here. See how I am? Now, just because this is how I do things, do not run out and buy these, for goodness sakes. You know, this can all be done with a pair of scissors and some careful trimming, which is beyond my skill set, quite honestly. Okay, put that down. All right, I'm going to show you a little something. And I'm going to use this. That's not the one I want. How to make your own reinforcement. A small circle punch and a regular punch. So you start with the regular punch. Decide what size of hole you want if you happen to have one of these handy dandy things. So now I'm just going to put 2 holes, which will be the centers for 2 of these. Okay. And now I just center the hole. Okay. I'm going to use perfect paper. Center. Now line up. This has got it. You can see through it. And I need the right side. And then, I don't know if you can tell that you can see through, that. And then just punch again. Turn it over and place my other circle. And if I was going to mat this side, I would have done that before I did my punch. Now you could put ribbon. Since we're using craft, you could use twine. Let me go decide what I'm going to use. I don't think I'm going to use twine. But I do have that. So about 6 inches will be plenty. And I go front to back because I like that. I like how it looks. Now you can pull through like this. You can pull one side over and tie the ribbon in a knot. Maybe we'll do that this time. It's just pull it through. And it's more of a bow, okay? Could do another knot and it's going to get chunky. I don't like how that's looking, so I'm going to go back to do it my way. And 7 inches may have been better. Don't go out and buy a bunch of anything, people. Don't do it. You will regret it. Until you figure out what your style is, don't spend a lot of money on this stuff. It's easy to do. And there's lots of bright, sparkly things to catch your eye. And I'll tell you what, Goodwill has benefited a lot from the error of my ways. When I first started out, oh my gosh. And I still have to stop myself. Okay, so we have a little piece of ribbon there. And 6 inches was just fine. Okay, now there's plenty of room in here for other things. Let's see, and that would even fit right there. Okay. I really do come back and do the insides later.